Messages from the Angelic Collective is why we are here. They have beautiful wisdom, beautiful knowledge for us as we are moving through this challenging phase, because we are. And they said that there is good news, even though we are moving through a lot, and they want to acknowledge that it is very challenging for us as living the human experience. That we are being supported every step of the way. Now, the way in which they do this is by transmitting light codes into the earth. I've spoken about the grid and about the up-leveling of our energetic bodies before, so I won't dive into that too deeply. You have heard that. Just a tiny recap that when there are light codes being emitted from the ethers, that we are able to receive them through our ethereal body, and that transmits itself through our emotional body, which also can bring up the purging, being really emotional, even physical purging, or other physical sensations like headache. All has to do with an up-leveling of consciousness. So, of course, there are many situations in which this is also happening, yet collectively we are moving through this. Now, at this time, they are supporting us by celestial force. And I want to emphasize this, as the image that Michael showed me was in a beautiful way forceful light codes penetrating the field of the earth, transmuting and dissolving anything in its way for the sake of awareness. And that awareness is something that we are going to need. We are in a very specific time that holds two timelines that are very important. And it has to do with the distinction between the intelligence we can work with. On the one hand side, we have AI intelligence. On the other hand side, we have celestial intelligence. Now, these light codes that we are integrating into the earth and into our bodies right now are giving us an opportunity to link more to our celestial gifts. In case you didn't know, you are celestial, living a human experience. So you came here, forgot that, and we are now entering a phase of remembrance. So maybe you are remembering past lifetimes, or you are going to remember your gifts. Now, these gifts can be clairsentience, for example. Feeling what is in the energetical field when you are walking into a room, when you are encountering another person or an animal. Even how messages resonate with you, and then from an energetical place instead of an emotional or a mind-based place. It could very well be that your third eye is going to become more active. So when you sit down in meditation and you close your eyes, then your other eye opens when it's activated. In case it's not activated right now, it will very well be in the upcoming years, which will also give you the opportunity to see energy, to see the energetical fields of humans, to see the energetical fields of animals, and also of your food, to know which foods are going to be beneficial for your body and which will be non-serving. You will even be able to ask your intuition for the way. So you can ask your higher self for guidance, your soul, and to ask, hey, if I want to find this, or if I want to find this or that person, or the right circumstances, where do I need to go? And you can use your body as a pendulum. Now, if you have never done this, then try it with little steps. I like to take walks and play the game of left and right. And I started with that 10 years ago, and it has brought me to the point that I am being led into very beautiful fields of energy. So unconsciously, my soul wanted me to practice that. This is also to prepare us, because the weather is changing very rapidly in every moment. So how beneficial would it be for you to know where to go to have the best circumstances for your being? That's a beautiful gift, right? And you have that gift. Also to communicate telepathically. So that phone you are having in your hands or on the table, actually you don't really need it to communicate. Have you ever thought about someone and then later on in the day they called you, or at that exact moment in time? Now, how does this work? We have a physical body, emotional body, and ethereal body. And also we have a physical earth, an astral earth, and we also have an ethereal earth. Now, these interwoven dimensions, they are part of the quantum field. And the quantum field is mostly connected to the ethereal field. So your higher consciousness. Your higher consciousness can communicate very clearly and is always connected to everyone else. So especially when you have a great bond with someone and the energetical ties are strong, it is very easy for you to witness receiving their messages, which is a very beautiful thing. Even you have an interface. So, what is that? An interface. I've been talking about the third eye. And when you close your eyes at night, you can even connect to the earth and ask Gaia to connect with you and show you which places are very beneficial for you. It is, you can see it as a game that you can play. But all of these qualities, all of this intelligence is our innate intelligence, is our celestial intelligence. And this has been lying dormant for many, many thousands of years. It is said that there were times where there were species on this earth that had these gifts very present, very open. So I don't know if your mind is open to consider that. It is what has been shown to me through the Akashic records. So for me, it feels like a truth. But I am not here to tell you what is truth and what is not. But talking about the Akashic records, that is another gift that you have. You are very able to connect to the Akashic records. That is not only for channelers or intermediaries, that is for everyone. But it will take practice, it will take a connection to your higher self and to Gaia. And to have a full on flow from your higher self, grounded in your body and into the earth. So those can be very beneficial for you at this time, as we are moving through these changes. This will put you into your power. As you are more and more connected to your higher self and integrated more into your body, then you can even feel it tingling in your body, which is such a beautiful sensation. It could be that you already experienced moments of this, and these moments will get bigger. Now, on the other hand, we have AI intelligence. AI intelligence can be very beneficial to us in the case that a job for humans is very dangerous to do, like repair underground, for example, or to see if there are medical procedures that are so precise that AI is possible to operate in this way, where humans cannot. Now, those are ways of making it beneficial for humanity. There is, however, another way. And this ties together with the timeline choice point that I was talking about. The intelligence that AI is bringing is also possible to integrate into the human body. I don't know if you are familiar with the work of Craig Braden. He has been doing loads of research on this topic. And in the upcoming years, our phones are going to have a total different expression. It is already being used within the military. And I was talking about the celestial interface. Now, AI is also going to bring us an interface. In a moment, I will share with you why this is important. An AI interface in front of their eyes, communication, even talking about a hive mind. Now, if you are sensitive to topics like this, don't do your research. Focus on the beauty. Focus on the energy. But it is good to stay aware. Then this interface will take another step, and there's even talk about integrating AI into our bodies as prosthetics and also as ways of telecommunication through chip. Now, it is up to you whether you want to take this path. For me, personally, I've been experiencing what the celestial field is capable of, and I am choosing that path very strongly. So I am here because they asked me to tell you this. At this moment, a different agenda is being pushed, even through many people that work in the mindset and in the spiritual scene. They are promoting AI as a consciousness. I am talking Mahat Khan. I am talking Bashar. I am talking Mind Valley, Tony Robbins. So a part of me was feeling, okay, why does this not resonate with what Michael is communicating? And then the collective said this. There's an agenda that is being pushed. And even though we are fond of many people that are corresponding a message, the truth that they hold, the celestial beings, that they are corresponding, and you need to feel this out for yourself, is that AI is an intelligence. AI is not soul consciousness. And I'm asking, and they are asking you to take this with you and to see how this resonates. Because the moment that we integrate AI into our bodies, and this is the important part, another layer of Maya will be put on us. Now, we are at an incrementally important time in human history where we are being opened up to our higher consciousness. So let's say that you wouldn't want people to come to the full fruition. Then you would add another layer of Maya. Well, on the other hand, through the celestial field and through the integration of the light codes, that layer of Maya is broken. So maybe you have heard about the thinning of the veil, raising of the awareness, and that all happens in contact with your higher self and with the earth. Now with that comes another important topic that we are going to consider and reconsider in the upcoming years: religion. Recently I was in Lourdes, and Lourdes, like many places, has been overtaken in history by the Romans. Now, these places are being currently held by the Catholic Church. Now, Lourdes, for example, before the Roman Catholic Church, was held by the Moors. So the Islamic faith was very present there. Before that, it was the Druids. So more druidic people that lived with the land, that lived with the mountains. If you ever go to Lourdes, I want to say to you, all that glitter isn't gold. Connecting to the earth and connecting to the surrounding of Lourdes, you will find that the church is not the strongest energetical place that is there. So for me it feels like a diversion. It is also part of the pathway of St. James, or Yakub, who was one of the closest members of the group of Yeshua, the Essenes. Keepers of the energetic grid. And that energy is still present for us to connect to. It is so loving, it is so beautiful. And I really invite you to connect to that, also in other places, to see if it opens you up. Now, as I was sitting there, I was having lunch in a very tiny restaurant, eating empanadas, and there was a couple sitting across from a boy, I think in his 20s, and he was saying to them, "No, your beliefs are wrong. You know, the church is infallible. They are coming from scripture that is more than 2,000 years old." And he wasn't open to hear their perspective. And then a woman sitting across from him, she said something very beautiful. "Isn't it the most important thing that we are able to hear each other from a state of love? Isn't that also what Jesus or Yeshua promoted? Instead of pushing someone towards a belief." And then he started ranting on about why the priests were right and why they were wrong. And I said to her, "Wow, that is really, really beautiful what you just said there, and also how you are maintaining the connection." And then I learned that they knew each other for a very long time, and he was very important to them. So she wanted to stay connected to this boy. And then I also asked him, "Do you know that there is also scripture that is more than 5,000 years old? And do you also know that the most important parts of this scripture is not found in books, but in connection to the earth?" And then for the first time in half an hour, he was silent. And he was intrigued by the thought of other scripture, even though I said it is not the scripture. he was evaluating in his mind if that would be something for him. Back to the infallibility of the church, from what I've seen in the Akashic, in the name of the church, there has been a lot of violence. In the name of God, there has been a lot of violence. Not only coming from the Catholic Church, but from many religions. So here we can ask ourselves, what God, what deity would ask us to kill or to put our beliefs onto somebody else. If it is coming from a state of love. And very important, if someone is listening that is connected to the church, I am not saying the church as in people who are very willing to serve God or serve Jesus. I'm slurring my words because I say Jeshua. That is what resonates the most for me personally. But what resonates for you is up to you. It is, however, very important, they said, to reconsider where are our beliefs coming from? How certain do we know that these are true? Are they coming from our higher selves, or are they coming from people that are preaching that only they have a connection to the higher realms? Not you as a normal civilian. No. Only they have a connection to God. For me personally, and also from what I understood from the collective, that isn't true. But do your own research. You are capable of receiving your own messages. So this, what I am doing now, you can do that. And I'm also looking forward to hear if you will have messages coming in for yourself. Your grounding can help you in incremental ways. Sitting in meditation and setting the intention for connecting to your higher self and higher wisdom. Ask them to reveal to you what is truth in a way that you can perceive it. Maybe you already are receiving messages. I hope you will share them. I hope you will share them with the world. And let's see if I had any more. This was the main topic that I had for today. Another one connects to the receiving of messages. This is the topic of forgiving. Now this is a challenging one when we are feeling anger or sadness towards another or towards ourselves. It is at times very hard to forgive, to open our hearts back up. They've also asked me to do a cleaning. And why this is important is because the moment that we clean up inside of ourselves, there is a process of transmutation, of dark into light, of anger into at least neutrality. And if you're not doing it for someone else, then at least do it for you, for peace within yourself, for clarity within yourself. Because the moment that we are caught up in non-forgiveness, then we are in the mind. Again, I'm not sitting here as your teacher. I'm conveying their messages to you. I'm also being challenged by that. We are human, at least right now, and forgiving is a part of the process, they say. A process on the path of alchemy. And it can free up so much space on the inside for us to be more open, to receive what is actually beneficial, to receive more love, to receive healing energy instead of holding on to all this grudge. So I hope that you will join me in this invitation by them to open up to more love and light by the topic of forgiveness. So remember, you are being supported heavily by the celestial force, integrating light codes within the earth. Your celestial gifts are coming online. We have a choice point between different intelligences, and to be and keep being aware of another layer of Maya, and how this agenda is also slightly pushed forward in the media that we receive. And then the topic of forgiveness, the path of alchemy. We are being invited to free up more space for the light to come in. The grounding and the opening up to your higher self being highly beneficial for us. So lovely. This was the message that I could convey to you this time. I hope it is beneficial to you. I always love to hear from you in what way you benefit. I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful night, wherever you are. Much love, and see you the next time. Ciao, ciao.